and the rains just begin already? Because the kind of heat that I've been experiencing these days, oh my goodness. I said this one don't pass global warming. This feels like global roasting. Okay, now yeah. Welcome to Voice of the People 90.3 FM. It's 6 minutes past 4 p.m. Yes, you do know that every Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. we'll bring you the recap right here on the number one station that gives you a voice. My name is Chioma Innocent, and as usual, I'm your host, and I do have my analyst sitting right across from me. The recap is that program where we discuss and analyze issues that made major headlines during the week. And of course, we discuss and analyze these issues at some point in the conversation. You can also get to be a part of it by calling in or sending in your messages. And today will be no different. So let's do it just like we've been doing it. Tell a friend to tell a friend that the recap has just begun. It promises to be an enlightening, entertaining, informative, and a very, very educating ride. So let's get right into it. Before we actually begin, let me give you a brief rundown of the topics which we'll be discussing today. It has been a very, very eventful week. It's been a nostalgic week for certain people due to the revelations about June 12, 1993 from the former military head of state, Ibrahim Babangida. So it's been a really nostalgic week for a lot of people. You best believe that that's part of what we'll be discussing this evening. Welcome to the recap. We'll be looking at quite a number of topics, beginning with IPOB condemns alleged exclusion of Southeast from capital project in the 2025 national budget. So that will be our very first topic for today. Then from there, we'll move on to the event that everyone has been talking about. In 1966, not Igbo coup, Kaduna Nzeogwu was more of Hausa, that is according to IBB. Then from there, we'll be looking at Deputy Speaker Carlo gives update on 31 state creation requests. And finally, we'll be looking at drama in Senate as Senator Natasha Akpoti confronts Akpabio, says, I am not afraid of you. So this and more we'll be discussing on the recap this evening. You know how we do it. Tell a friend to tell a friend that the recap has just begun. Okay, make sure you spread the word. We're also streaming live on YouTube. All you need to do is head on over to the app and type into your search bar VOP 903 FM, and you can get to watch us live and direct. In case you want to put a face to the name, or you want to put a face to the voice, I just want to see what our studio setup looks like. Yes, head on over to YouTube. We're streaming live right now. VOP 903 FM, VOP 903 FM on YouTube, and you can get to join us live and direct. Okay, so I cannot wait to read all of your comments on YouTube, all of your messages on WhatsApp. I cannot wait to hear your voices when you call as well. All right. All right, let's get right into it. Beginning with the IPOB story. IPOB condemns alleged exclusion of Southeast from capital projects in the 2025 national budget. The indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has strongly criticized the alleged exclusion of the Southeast from all capital projects in the 2025 national budget as read and approved by the House of Representatives. In a statement issued by its media and publicity secretary, Emma Parfo, IPOB described the development as a confirmation that the Nigerian state has denied Nzeogwu citizenship. The group urged the Igbo people to view this exclusion as a motivation to intensify efforts towards the realization of an independent nation. According to IPOB, the exclusion from all projects in the 2025 budget is a clear confirmation that the Nigerian state has denied Southeasterners citizenship. The group emphasized that this move justifies their call for an independent nation, which is being championed by the global family and movement of IPOB under the leadership of Nnamdi Kanu, who remains in DSS custody. Now, yes, we want to talk about this issue. I have Mr. Peter Anosike in the studios, and as usual, he'll be our analyst this evening. Always a pleasure to have you here. Good evening.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. I hope you're having a great weekend. Okay, let's get right into it. Talking about the national budget, you recall that sometime during the week, the House of Reps said they made a mistake in all the approvals for the budget, and it had to be recalled so that they could actually make some adjustments, which happened to be increases, right? Then, on the other hand, I also want to look at why does IPOB seem to always be I'm trying to get a very, very correct word for it, but I don't want to use the word violent because you cannot say what they're doing here is being violent as no one is being hurt. But when they say this shows that a Southeasterners has been excluded from citizenship in Nigeria, and this is the more reason why you should work towards an independent nation, is that something that you agree with?
That's everybody have gone through the 2025 budget, and there's nothing there for the Southeast geopolitical zone. So this is what, and it is very, very unfortunate that the Minister of Works is from Southeast. It is very, it's not unfortunate. It is shameful that the Minister of Works is from Southeast, and this is happening. It is also very, very shameful that Benjamin Kando, the Deputy Speaker, is from Southeast, and his zone that is being undermined. And these two individuals, these two elements are behaving as if all is well. These two elements are behaving that all is well. We all, as we speak, are in Nigeria. We all are in Nigeria. We all are contributors to the economy of this country. And a budget is shared and nothing for your own people. You are not worried. You are not disturbed. It means that a robot has more soul than you. It means that a robot has more soul than you. Anybody that claims to be representing on the Southeast and is in the National Assembly and pass this budget without anything from his own zone is more of a robot than a human being.
You're expecting them to be the ones to actually raise this alarm and not IPOB?
It's because they did not do it. That's why IPOB is now doing it. Excuse me. This thing that they call budget padding, many people don't understand it. This thing that they call budget padding, this is how this budget padding works. An instance, a budget is presented. I'm representing that's a constituency. I looked at the budget and there's nothing there for my people. I will bring that report to the members of the assembly. Excuse, I've gone through this budget. There's nothing there for my people. The people I'm representing, there's nothing there in the budget for them. If I'm able to convince them, they will say, okay, bring a project for your own people. So once I bring this project and it's added in the budget, the cost of the budget goes up. That's what they mean by padding. Understand me? That's what they mean by padding. That's the budget did not come back as we sent it to the National Assembly. Because we sent a budget of 4 trillion. You are now giving me back a 4.5 trillion. So it is members that are putting projects for the constituency that they are representing. That's why budgets don't come back the same way the executive sent it. And these are active members of the House, not docile people that claim to be representing their constituency while they are there representing their own pockets. So what IPOB is just drawing attention. Look at what happened in the 2025 budget. There's nothing for the Southeast. While the Works Minister, Dave Omahi, is from the Southeast. The Deputy Speaker is from the Southeast, and nothing for their own people. It is shameful. Very, very shameful.
Now that this has been raised and the budget has been passed, what's the way forward?
Well, it's still the same old song. This is why people that are calling, that's why Igbos are saying that they are being discriminated against. That's why they say that they are being marginalized against. That's why they say that they are being treated as foreigners in the country. And the main reason why they are calling for self-determination. If you cannot carry us along, if you don't want to give us sense of belonging, then let us go our own way. So it is this kind of thing that is causing this self-agitation. It is this kind of treatment that is causing self-agitation. There are 5 things to share. You give A, B, C, and you don't give D. D cannot be happy. D cannot be happy. So the self-determination that the Southeast is some people in the Southeast are calling is because of the treatment by the Nigerian state. It is born out of frustration. It is because Nigerians are not giving Southeasterners equal treatment. That is the only reason. Assuming
Nigerians as a whole, the people in the country,
we know
or
who
are you talking about the ones at the helm?
I say the Nigerian state are not giving the Southeasterners equal treatment. If they are doing it, why should there be things in the budget for other geopolitical zones and nothing for the Southeast?
Do you think that was an oversight?
It is deliberate. It is deliberate, and we have a deputy speaker there. We have a deputy speaker there, and he allowed this budget to be passed. It is a shame on him. Very big shame on him.
And that's why I asked the question, what can be done now that, this budget has literally been passed? Is there anything that can be done about it? Would you expect other lawmakers to actually raise bills or sponsor bills that would help their people from their constituency in the Southeast so that they can also have these capital projects?
They should have done this before the compilation came. Understand me? Every year, budget is being passed. MDAs, ministries, departments, agencies, understand me, constituencies all bring projects which will be put in the budget, and the executive will now present it to the National Assembly. Understand me? So this is what they are supposed to do before this budget is presented to the National Assembly. But they are not doing it. One, either that they are cowards, or because they are not representing their people, or because they are working for the interests of Igbo haters.
But one cannot help but wonder if why such an oversight? And if you say it's not an
Don't
oversight,
use that
why
word,
such a
oversight.
decision?
It is deliberate.
Because when you talk about putting the budget together, this is not a work of one person, right? Could everyone who was involved in talking about what should go into the budget, everybody came together and agreed that there should be nothing for the Southeast?
The people in the Southeast, those House of Rep members who are there to represent their own people, have every right to say, this is the challenges of my constituency. This is my constituency has a erosion problem. They have a road problem. I want something to be done about it.
So the failure is on the part of the lawmakers, not just for the budget presentation.
The failure is on one. Those people who claim to be representing of the Southeast, understand, assuming that they did not do what they are supposed to do. But if they did it, then the Nigerian state say, take this thing out. It becomes another thing. Then if you bring a problem of your people to be included in the budget and they say no, you don't keep quiet, you raise an alarm. You don't keep quiet, you raise an alarm. You go to the press, you address a press conference. I brought my town has been cut into two by erosion. I brought a bill to the National Assembly for the erosion problem to be addressed, and government is saying, the executive is saying no. Then your people will know you've done your own bit. Understand me?
Instead of keeping quiet.
But if you keep quiet, it means that you made no effort. If you keep quiet, it means that you made no effort at all. So for me, since they did not raise any alarm, it means that they made no effort.
It's 21 minutes past 4 p.m. on the number one station that gives you a voice. This is Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. The voice you've been hearing belongs to Mr. Peter Anosike, and he's taken the seat of the analyst this evening on The Recap. The Recap is that program where we discuss and analyze issues that made major headlines during the week, okay? So just in case you join us and you're thinking, oh, why are we discussing this? It's happened earlier in the week. Yes, that's what we do on The Recap. We're trying to discuss these issues on the weekend, trying to recap on the issues that happened during the week. We're not just discussing this to rile up the polity. We're not just talking about it for talking's sake. We're analyzing it from all angles with a view to finding a solution, speaking truth to power, and making sure that your voice is heard. At some point in the conversation, 5 p.m. precisely, you will be able to call in or send messages, okay, to be a part of the program. But right now, let's head into our very next topic. And this has to do with the president of the Senate and the senator representing Kogi Central, Senator Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan. Now, here was the situation on Thursday evening. On Thursday, I believe there was drama in the Senate as Senator Natasha confronted the president of the Senate, Akpabio, saying, "I am not afraid of you." You know, there was a mild drama. The drama reportedly began after a report by Senate Chief Whip Mohammed Monguno, who informed the Senate that Senator Natasha had refused to relocate to a new seat assigned to her. She was not happy that they moved her seat without her knowledge, without her consent, and insisted on actually sitting on her previous seat, right? The chief whip said that the reassignment was intended to close gaps left by two defecting opposition senators who joined the APC from the minority party. Citing under 24, Chief Whip Monguno highlighted his authority as chief whip and referenced other 6, which grant the Senate president the power to reassign senators' seats anytime. But Senator Natasha stood from her original seat and attempted to invoke other 10, arguing that her privileges had been violated. But the president of the Senate ruled her out of order, asserting that she could not be recognized while speaking from an unauthorized seat. You know, she went ahead to accuse him of intentionally suppressing her voice and preventing her from participating in legislative motions. In fact, she alleged that certain bills she brought had been repeatedly blocked from advancing to second reading. She said she would not be sidelined. She repeatedly told the president of the Senate, "I am not afraid of you. You have consistently tried to dehumanize me. You've been discriminatory towards me." And it was just a whole lot that happened then. I want to know what your assessment of the situation is, Mr. Anosike, especially knowing that early December 2024, there was a situation between the same president of the Senate and the senator representing FCT. I'm talking about Senator Ireti Kingibe, which led to her angrily storming out of plenary after she was prevented from presenting a motion on the demolitions going on in the FCT. Demolitions being carried out, reportedly being carried out by the FCT Minister Wike. You also know that between Wike and Kingibe, there is no love lost. What really is going on in the Nigerian Senate, and who is out of order? Does the president of the Senate have the powers to actually suspend her from sitting for plenary?
Well, for me, you can see that what these two senators have done, all the Southeast members in the National Assembly, all of them put together, have not even done 1/10 of it.
When you say these two senators, you're talking about Senator Akpoti and Senator Kingibe?
Sure.
You're talking about speaking to the president of the Senate?
Effective representation. Effective representation. This woman said that she had, what she said, that she had brought bills for the interest of his own people, and Akpabio did not allow it to pass second reading. And she was angry about it. Has any of the senators in the Southeast ever raised their finger? None of them. Senator Ireti Kingibe, the same thing. Stormed out when the bill that she brought stopping demolition in Abuja. These are vibrant, effective representation. But Southeast senators are just going there to occupy seats. That's what they are going there to do, occupy seat. Then on this issue of Akpabio and Senator, the senator representing Kogi Central, they say what you measured will be measured unto you. It's just a matter of time. What you measured will be measured unto you. Just a matter of time. What is Natasha did to Akpabio is exactly what Akpabio did to Saraki.
Mm.
It was exactly what Senator Akpabio did to Senator Bukanda and Saraki. That time, that was in the Ninth Assembly. Akpabio left his own chair was walking towards the senator, even to the Senate president, even went to a table that there was no microphone. Saraki said, Akpabio, go back to your chair so that I can recognize you. I cannot recognize you when you are sitting where there's no even a microphone. So, but the thing there, Senator Saraki did not order for Akpabio to be thrown out of the Senate House. But Akpabio, in his own case, ordered a woman to be thrown out of the Hando chamber. You can give punches, but you cannot receive punches. You can give punches, but you cannot receive punches. So it is what he did to another Senate president that Natasha is doing to him. Then Senate, there's an order of sitting. The new members stay at the back, while the older members stay in the front. And Apoti, as the first timer in the Senate, her position should, even though she's heading committees, her position should be at the back because she is a first-time senator. And if you are to reallocate her seat, she should be informed. Understand me? Mm. If her seat, if she's to be given another seat, she should be informed officially. And not coming, you say, no, you are no more sitting there. And somebody was talking about that the Senate is not for content creation or skit making. It is Akpabio that is creating content in the Senate. It is Akpabio that is making skits in the Senate, because there's no effective management going on there. So for me, the woman said, I'm here to represent my people. You cannot shut me down. Because she is carrying the burden of her people on her shoulders. She must not keep quiet. Because if she keep quiet, his people will not be, there will be no representation. Her people queuing in the sun and in the rain to vote for her, that mission has been rendered useless. Mm. So this is what is is on her shoulder. I'm here to represent my people. I am fighting for my people.
When you look at the way things happened between him and Senator Ireti Kingibe representing the FCT, and also go back to, I think, mid last year, around July or so, when he had not a confrontation, but he made a certain comment which did not go down well with Senator Akpoti herself and certain other Nigerians, where she reportedly, or she tried to speak without the permission of the Senate President, an act which reportedly contravenes the Senate standing order. And in an attempt to correct her, the President of the Senate said something like, you have to follow the rules. This is not a nightclub where anybody can talk anyhow. And, certain people said he doesn't have respect for women and
that shows
speaking in that way. But he later apologized to her. Seeing as he's not exactly having these kinds of problems with the men in the Senate, is it that the men are more docile, they are more accepting of his behavior, or what do you think made him act in that way? Is it being power drunk? Is it just trying to maintain order, or is he just flexing on them because they are women?
I don't know the problem that he has with women, but the truth is that the way he was elected was the way the women there were also elected. The way he is representing his people is the way the women there are representing their own people. So there's equal right in the Senate. That he is a Senate president today, he was not elected to be Senate president, so it is a privilege. That has not made him to be more equal than the others. Primarily, they were elected senators to represent their own people. So he shouldn't be mistreating anybody, let alone women, because we don't have up to 15% representation of women in the Senate. More women are needed in the Senate, and when you begin to discriminate to bully them, how can other people come? So the signal that Senator Akpabio is sending to the women is not good at all. They should be encouraged. They should. As we don't have up to 15% representation of the women in the Senate, and are the ones there you are bullying them for what? They were elected the same way that you two are elected. There are people who have problem. So they are there to speak for their own people. Effective representation. Understand? So the women are more emotional than the men. So and that is what is happening that's in the Senate. Maybe the men there can take anything. Understand? But the women, I'm proud of the women in this current Senate, especially those that are saying no to nonsense.
This is Voice of the People 90.3 FM. You're currently tuned into the recap where we discuss and analyze issues that made major headlines during the week. And right now we're talking about the face-off, or what you could call the confrontation, between President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, and the Senator representing Kogi Central, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. Let's now move on in the conversation to our very next topic. It's about 27 minutes before 5 p.m. Remember that at 5 p.m. the phone lines will be open so that you can call in. Okay, I can see some of you already sending messages on WhatsApp. Thank you so much, and keep them coming. Okay, yes, I can see your comments on YouTube as well. Just keep them coming. I'll take all these comments before the show is over. Okay, let's head on over to our very next topic, and this has to do with the Deputy Speaker giving an update on 31 state creation requests. The Deputy Speaker of the House of Reps, Honorable Benjamin Kalu, has announced that none of the 31 requests for state creation in Nigeria have met the constitutional requirements for consideration. Now, the Deputy Speaker, who is also the chairman of the House Committee on the Review of the 1999 Constitution, made it known on Friday during a 2-day retreat for committee members held in Ikot Ekpene, Akwa Ibom State. The retreat, organized from February 20 to 23, aimed to review ongoing amendment bills and strategize on the next steps in the constitutional review process. So, the Deputy Speaker is emphasizing that while the requests for the new states reflect the aspirations of various communities, none of them have fulfilled the stringent legal conditions outlined in the Nigerian Constitution. Before I pass it on over to Mr. Peter Anosike, what the Deputy Speaker is saying is, look, yes, people have sent requests that they want 31 new states to be created across all the geopolitical zones in Nigeria, but with everything they've sent, none of them have met the constitutional requirements. I'd like to get your assessment of the situation.
Well, to start with, no state is going to be created. No state is going to be created.
Because they've not met the constitutional requirements, even if they did.
No state is going to be created. So that's we should have that at the back of our mind. Understand? what if he said that they did not meet the constitutional or requirements, he would have cited those constitutional or requirements. For me, I know that the number one requirement for creation of state, according to 1999 Constitution, is a population of between 800,000 to 1 million. That is the number one requirement. 800,000 people to 1 million. Understand? So, but the issue is this: for the state to be created, two-thirds of the states in the country must approve of that state. So this is where all the problem is. It will not be possible for the two-thirds of the of the 36 states to approve it. It is not going to be possible because Nigerians are not one. Nigerians are not one. An instance, if you approve other state and you do not approve a state in Castina, when it gets to Katsina State may shut it down. If you approve Ijebu State, Ijebu State, and you did not that's approve Ondo State, when it gets to Imo State may not pass it. So this is why it's not going to be possible to create any state. All the states that have been created in the country has been under the army because they don't require all this two-thirds of a state. It's just by fiat. A president, a head of state will just be in his office and announce creation of a state. So it is possible under the army, but not possible under the civilian because of a selfish interest. Understand? So, assuming that they're interested in creating a state, what they should have done is just, since Southeast has 5 states, for just create one state from the Southeast to make it 6 with the other geopolitical zones in the country, even though North Central has 7. Understand me? What they should have been fighting for is just an additional state in the Southeast to bring it at par with North Central, Northeast, Southwest, South. Understand me? This would have been easier, and there would have been a weighty argument. But say you want to create 31 states, it's just a scam, a very big scam.
Well, of course, they did not decide to create the states on their own, like the Deputy Speaker of the House is saying they received most of this from other Nigerians who believe that they want, from other Nigerians and interest groups who want these states to be created, right? So it's not like the House sat down and said, oh, why don't we create 31 more states for Nigerians? Because there are certain people who believed that, oh, the creation of more states would bring employment for people and other benefits like that.
The question is, how many states in the country today are self-sustaining? How many states are viable? This is the question that we should be asking ourselves. It's not just creating states. How many of them are viable? Creating 31 states is just making a few people billionaires at the expense of others. Those who will become governors, senators, and House of Reps. That is all. It is not in the overall interest of the people. So the argument that Benjamin Kanu is supposed to be making, and those Igbos in the National Assemblies, instead of creating all these states, bring Southeast to be at par with the other states. Understand? With the other geopolitical zones. This should have been their argument. We have only five states. Other geopolitical zones have 6. Some even have 7. Let us just have 6 like the other people. This is a better argument than accepting states from villages and so on and so forth. So this 31 states is just that to shut down the weighty agitation of another state from the southeast. So it is a game against the southeastern people of this country.
Okay. All right. Because of our time, let's move on to our very last topic. This seems to be one which will be quite lengthy due to the revelation by the former military head of state, Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, who has dismissed claims that the 1966 military takeover was an Igbo coup. He said the leader of the 1966 coup, Kaduna Nzeogwu, spoke Hausa fluently. In his just launched book, A Journey in Service, the former military head of state said Nzeogwu was only Igbo by name but was more of Hausa. He also said it was heinously callous for Nzeogwu to have murdered Samad Bello and his wife because they were adored by many. He says, Major Kaduna Nzeogwu was only Igbo in name. He was born and raised in Kaduna. He spoke fluent Hausa and he was as Hausa as anyone else. He and his original team probably thought that even if naively, they could turn things around for the better for the country. Before we proceed to the analysis for this particular topic, I'd like to read an excerpt from a book by Peter Anosike. This book is titled 100 Years of Amalgamation. Igbos, What Hope in Nigeria? 100 Years of Amalgamation. Igbos, What Hope in Nigeria? If you're watching on YouTube, you can see the book just in my hands. So on this issue of the 1966 coup being an Igbo coup, I want to read an excerpt from this particular book in my hands at this moment, and it's titled 100 Years of Amalgamation, Igbos, What Hope in Nigeria? And I'll be reading from pages 66 to page 67. All right. To start with, they claimed that the January 15, 1966 coup, which featured some young Igbo soldiers, was an Igbo coup. But they deliberately refused to let the world know that Colonel Nzeogwu, one of the highest ranked Igbo officer who was in charge of the armory in Lagos, was killed in the coup because he refused to cooperate with the coup plotters. He was killed because he refused to give them the key of the armory. Let us try to reconcile this. An Igbo coup, yet one of the highest ranked Igbo army officers refused to surrender the key of the armory to the coup plotters. Is there any logic in that? The truth is, if there were people who were supposed to protect the government that was overthrown, it was the Igbos, because they were clearly dominating the government. They had the president, Senate president, as well as the supreme commander of the armed forces. In fact, Igbos were in complete control of the armed forces, government, as well as the entire political space in the country. I'm saying it unequivocally that the January 15, 1966 coup was an anti-Igbo coup. Chukwuma Kaduna Nzeogwu and his colleagues were manipulated to do a great disservice to the Igbo nation. And it was that guilt, when he realized himself, that made him to go to fight on the side of the Biafran soldiers to see if he could atone for his sin against the race. Little wonder why, when he died in the battlefield, the Nigerian state, knowing full well that he was their hero, having used him to destroy the Igbo dominance in the Nigeria political space, carried his body back to Kaduna and honored him with a full military burial. Since then, Igbos have been battling to come back into reckoning, but to no avail. So, the current plight of the Igbos could rightly be placed on the shoulders of Nzeogwu and his manipulators. That is, those who would have been the beneficiaries of the coup, which of course were not Igbos. I have to say this because a saying has it that if you don't know where you're coming from, you would not know where you're going. Igbos should know where the problems began before they would know how to solve it. If one knows the origin of his problem, it is half solved. So, for Igbos to come back into reckoning in the country, they have to go back to pre-January 1966 coup and check all the things they were doing that gave them dominance in the nation's political, social, and economic space and start doing them again. I have just read an excerpt from the book, 100 Years of Amalgamation, Igbos, What Hope in Nigeria, pages 66 and 67. If you'd like to get this book, you can reach out by sending a message on WhatsApp. So, Mr. Peter Anosike, you wrote the excerpt that I just read, and this seems to have been confirmed by the military head of state at the, of that time, Ibrahim Babangida.
Okay.
By the military head of state that came later,
okay.
actually.
I wrote this book in 2014. So 11 years before Babangida came up with this revelation. So
is it really a revelation?
So to him and to a lot of people, it is a revelation. Understand? But the issue is this: Babangida has been aware of this. Understand me? Or Obasanjo has been aware of this.
So why did they allow the wrong narrative fly all these years?
Because it is on their it served them right. It served them. It is for their own benefit. All they did was to give Igbos a bad name in order to keep on doing to them what they are doing, like this 2025 budget. Understand? So the truth is that Major Kaduna Nzeogwu was manipulated by Igbo haters to do that coup.
When you say he was manipulated, what do you mean? What was he told that made him to go ahead with that? Because now you're saying he was manipulated.
He was, because the beneficiaries of that coup are not Igbos. Understand me? As the book stated, Igbos has no reason to overthrow that government because the president is an Igbo man, Nnamdi Azikiwe. The Senate president is Nwafo Orizu, an Igbo man. The chief of army staff is JTU Aguiyi-Ironsi, and a lot of prominent other Igbo man in government and in power at that point in time. Why should you go and overthrow a government that your own people is dominating? So Nzeogwu was manipulated. Understand me? So he did a great disservice to the Igbo nation, because that's by conducting that coup. So Babangida know this. Understand? And he is waiting up till now to try to kind of rewrite that history. For me, I couldn't wait. Understand? I cannot wait for Babangida that to come and say what I have already known. Understand? I stated this that 1996 coup was an anti-Igbo coup. Those that conducted that coup did it against the Igbos. So even in the book, I have other revelations which they will still come out in the future. Because if you talk, you die. If you don't talk, you will still die. Understand me? So in the book, that Igbo coup is just one of the revelations in the book. There are so many others that at their own time they will come up and talk about it. Like this issue of the North being more popular than the South. I did an empirical studies on that. Understand me? On this issue of religion, I did an empirical studies on that is contained in the book. Because we are in age of enlightenment. You don't have that to wait for an Obasanjo or for a Babangida or for anybody to come out and say what he feels that we should know. So it's because of that I published that book and launched it 11 years ago. So for me, he just said what a lot of Nigerians already know. He just said what a lot of Nigerians already know. So just like again on the issue of civil war, people are are saying that Ojukwu is the cause of the civil war. Ojukwu was not. If Ogundibe has not run away and take over as head of state after Aguiyi was killed, there would have been no civil war. There would have been no civil war because Ojukwu and Gowon were lieutenant colonel, but Ogundibe was a brigadier. And when Aguiyi was assassinated, Ojukwu told them, hand over to Ogundibe. But Ogundibe was nowhere to be found.
All right, Mr. Peter Anderske, before you continue, I want to take this excerpt from an interview that the late Ojukwu granted some time ago. Can we do that?
Okay, you can
but
go.
stressing the point about it not being an Igbo coup in 1966. So for a minute or so.
Now let's get it straight. The young officers had within Igbos, Yorubas, and Hausas. The way the Nigerian army was structured, you could not escape a preponderance of Igbo officers. And these were at the middle level because they were essentially majors. By then I was a lieutenant colonel, so I wasn't part of it. I was then commanding a battalion in Kano. The coup ostensibly, because I later found out that the whole aim of the coup was to halt this apparent drift in Nigeria. But significantly, you know what they wanted to do? To create a presidential commission of army officers as a safeguard to the people who would guard the nation and hand over government to Chief Obafemi Awolowo. The idea was to release him from prison, make him prime minister, and in the hope that Nigeria would become a better place. That is actually how. So it was really the Yoruba.
So you heard what Ojukwu said, and IBB is actually corroborating that, saying that yes, that is what happened. It was not an Igbo coup, and yes, that they actually had nationalistic interest. The coup plotters, they wanted to make Nigeria better. They wanted to release Obafemi Awolowo from prison and make him the president or the prime minister, as it was at that time. In his book, Babangida revealed that the primary objective of the coup plotters was to release Chief Obafemi Awolowo from prison and install him as prime minister. He emphasized that the involvement of officers from different ethnic backgrounds, including non-Igbo officers such as Major Adewale Ademoyega, Captain Ganiu Adeleke, and Lieutenants Fola Oyewole and Olafimiho, further invalidates the claim that it was an Igbo-driven coup. All right. We know that coup happened in 1966. The Civil War started the next year in 1967 up until about 1970 with over 3 million Southeasterners dying. Why, if you say that the Southeasterners have been marginalized, why has that narrative been allowed to fly for so long that it's eating deep into the consciousness of people that we are not as united in Nigeria as we should be?
That's the question. Why did Babangida wait up till now? Why did I said in my book that the beneficiaries of that coup, if it has succeeded, would not have been Igbos. Understand me? It would not have been Igbos. So how can it be called an Igbo coup? So Babangida knew this all along, and he kept quiet. Now he is on a wheelchair. His conscience has been bothering him. He has now said, "Okay, let me now open up." So, one, those people have a good thing in mind. They were sold onto the ideology of Obafemi Awolowo. Understand me? This is a welfareanism system of government. This is a free education and so on and so forth. So, they felt that the manifesto of Obafemi Awolowo was better than that of NCNC, understand, and MPC. So they now staged that coup in. By that time, Awolowo was in Calabar prison. So the idea was to bring him out of prison and make him the prime minister. So it was never an Igbo coup. But my question is, why should Babangida wait up till now? He is on his wheelchair. And this narrative has festered for a long time, and people has believed in it. They were even teaching it in the schools. Understand me? Go to your history book, go to your social studies book. It is there. Why didn't he stop it? So these are people who now want to be saints. This is somebody who people are celebrating. And Obasanjo also know this information. Because on the night of the coup in Kaduna, Obasanjo was with Nzeogwu. They slept in the same room. So he knew this. And he kept quiet. They are teaching it in school that 1966 coup was an Igbo coup. And everybody is believing it. Some people have taken this belief to their ancestors. So that's why I cannot wait and start revealing all the things I know. The book contains even more things that will shock them, because I know that they have started talking. Very soon, others will come. And if you had watched when they were there and everybody was saying what they were saying, Obasanjo was taking notes. Maybe very soon he'll come up with another book. So Babangida has started talking. I'm sure very soon other people would also start talking. But another fraud is this population, where they say that the North is more populous than the South, which I exposed in my book in empirical order. In empirical order. That was why when I was launching the book on November 27, 2014, many people were afraid to come. Many people that I invited couldn't come, because they felt that army will come there and maybe shoot everybody or arrest everybody. But truth doesn't care how anybody feels. Fact doesn't care whether you are happy or sad. That's why I have that to make that revelation before anybody else begin to say anything about it.
It's 2 minutes before 5 p.m. This is Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. You're tuned into the recap. We're discussing and analyzing the issues that made the major headlines during the week. Why do everyone keeps asking the question, why, and why these revelations are just coming now, and no one is in the mind of Babangida to actually say this is his reason, whether good or bad. We cannot speculate. Is this for whitewashing?
It is bad. It is bad.
Is it for whitewashing? Is he trying to make himself look like a saint? Is it to rewrite history? And for those younger Nigerians right now who were not yet born when all of this were playing out, to see him as, at least the man came out and tried to right his wrongs. Is that what he's trying to do right now? Trying to right his wrongs, or is this just whitewashing?
He allowed this narrative to enter the subconsciousness of the people. If he's a good man, he should not have allowed it. If he's a good man, he should not have allowed it. He allowed it for the schools to be teaching all these things. The hatred, millions of people that have been killed because they say that Igbos that the 1960s coup were an Igbo coup. Understand? Igbos has lost a lot, both materially and human beings, because of that false
narrative
accusation.
All right, it's 5 p.m. You can start blowing up the phone lines, although some people were already doing that even before 5 p.m. But the good thing is now you have my permission, okay? We can start taking your calls right about now. We've discussed quite a number of topics this evening, ranging from IPOB decrying the fact that there are no capital projects for the Southeast in the 2025 budget, to talking about the face-off, or what you can call a confrontation, between President of the Senate Godswill Akpabio and of course the senator representing Kogi Central, Senator Natasha Akpoti Uduagon. From there, we talked about the Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu giving an update on the 31 new state creation, and then we've been talking about the revelations by the former military head of state Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida. This is the earliest we'll be taking calls on this program, but then let's get right into it. 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 903 or 0803 692 9933 0803 692 9933. We're streaming live on YouTube. All you need to do is head on over to YouTube and type into your search bar VOP 903 FM, and you can get to be a part of the conversation. Okay, let's get right into it. Thank you so dearly for holding on. Good evening and welcome to the recap.
Good evening, Choma Innocent.
Hi, what's your name and location, please?
My name is C2, calling from Freetown, Sierra Leone.
Well, C2, great to hear from you. It's been a while. How you doing?
Mazano Sika, good evening.
Thank you so much.
Mazano Sika, I'm a little bit angry with you, but you were one night run up.
Why is that?
The reason why, yes, Choma, last week Friday, my brother was anchoring a program. That was the last call you took from one of the Yoruba guy. And he came up on this session and he said that IPOB is a terrorist, Nnamdi Kanu is a terrorist, army should go and kill them. And you keep quiet, and he expressed himself, which is lie. The same lie that we are debunking now. But if I want to say my own, you will say that I'm angry, you cut me off. This guy was your last call, you can remember.
But you're talking now.
Allow him. It's not like my brother Mazalo Sike. You allow that guy to bring out that narrative. Telling that IPOB is a terrorist, Nnamdi Kanu is a terrorist, army should go and crush them.
You know that there are certain people that feel that way, right? Just the same way,
right.
if you support him, the people who don't support him, that's our voice of the people, okay. So you can say what you feel, okay? But as long as keep it polite, please.
Yes, that is number one. I want to correct that impression.
Okay.
As far as I know, IPOB are not terrorists, Nnamdi Kanu are not terrorists.
Okay.
The United States of America, even the UN, knows who IPOB are. They know where the offices are. I want Boko Haram or ISWAP to come to the United States or Britain to have an office, and let's see who is terrorist. It's only in Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, the main terrorist himself, who brought terrorists in Nigeria.
Here's the thing, C2. Here's the thing, C2, okay? As much as our voice of people and you can speak freely, please don't make such assertions, okay? Because if you call Buhari a terrorist, no court of law has designated him a terrorist. Please, I beg. It's different when you call for Boko Haram, because we can see what they are doing. It's different when you say Boko Haram is a terrorist organization, because we can see what they are doing. Okay? Please, see to.
Now, let me go to the 1966 coup.
Okay.
Our people, we keep, as far as this VOP concerned, we are here to speak the truth. And thank God for VOP. And the truth is coming out. The same way I've called the one. Make sure you come out and say it. So Nigeria, come out and tell Nigerians the whole world, why you kill 7.2 million of Nzeogwu. As at that time, the record I mentioned now, we get it from the Irish government. Go and do your research. We can't say what we don't know. It was the most brutal genocide human being ever encountered in African soil. The white people are telling us that it was the brutal. Yes. So Engineer Nzeogwu and Obasanjo was aware. It was Britain, the CIA, Britain government who engineered that coup. And you know why they did it? They did it just to make sure they lay their hand in all the mineral resources in the southeast, so that they will plot something that will make Nigeria to hate Nzeogwu. So Britain will continue we continue putting Nigeria in a black dungeon the way they are today. That is the reason why. And today, Babangida have come to tell you that Nzeogwu is more or less not a man than Igbo man. And why did our people being killed? Why did you kill Nzeogwu? Why did you kill my people? And you want me to keep quiet? You want me to not to be angry? Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, C2. Thank you for your call.
The Suprema Nnamdi Kanu before it's too late.
Thank you for your call, C2. Thank you so much. I just wish you speak much more calmly sometimes. Are you always this annoyed? All right, you heard what he said about Britain. First up, do you agree with that? Just give me a yes or no.
Britain has a hand in it. Because,
okay, wait.
Britain has a hand in it because after that coup, Gowon was asking for secession. Britain told him, now you have the country in your hand. Don't run away. Immediately after that coup, Gowon, it was all they were saying is Araba. Understand me? They were calling for secession after that coup. They were all afraid. It was the British government that told Gowon, the country is now in your hand. Don't secede. Continue with one Nigeria. So Britain has a hand in this.
But you didn't say this before Situ brought it up. Plus, it seems that in Nigeria, it seems that we blame a lot to the West a lot for our problems.
When you read my book on this 100 years of amalgamation, on census, it was Britain that started rigging census, which the northern Nigeria. For Nigeria. They are the most corrupt nation in the world, Britain. They rigged the 1959 election, which brought Tafawa and Balewa to office. Britain.
You know, Tafawa Balewa was the prime minister while Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Azikiwe was the president. So you're saying they rigged it for Tafawa Balewa and not for Nnamdi Azikiwe?
They rigged it for Tafawa Balewa. Britain,
but not for Nnamdi Azikiwe.
Not for
Who
Nnamdi
was
Azikiwe.
The president?
No, and the reason was because South gave them tough time before independence. North was very docile. Understand? They were getting through in the North, but pressure was coming from the South. They swore that they would leave power to the North. It's all contained in my book.
Okay then, 0803-692-9933 or 0700-903-903-903. Thank you so much for holding on. Good evening. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, Chairman Innocent is Tony Chumodi. Mr. Nosike, good evening, sir.
Thank you so much.
Welcome, Mr. Tony. How are you doing today?
I'm good. You see, since this issue of book, I have been so annoyed. When you see, to know how to shout or how to scream to the top, but some of us are. Chum, I don't know how old you were then, because maybe during this issue of Osa Abiola.
I wasn't born
some
then,
of us,
fortunately.
Okay, thank God. You are just sounding like my mother. My mother always said that those who didn't see the Biafran war doesn't know what happened, and those that saw it will never pray for it to happen again. So those that didn't see what people, mainly the Igbos, went through, that issue of, I was still at Onitsha then at Old Notice Papers. We saw the problem. You are seeing your people running for fear of the unknown. Many died. Many were killed. And somebody and their group are just sitting down there in a hotel, having a champagne over a book. That somebody who did it, that said that it was for the interest of Nigeria, did not for one single day explain what that interest that he was trying to protect was. That's one. Two, now that he has said this, is there any compensation for those that were killed unjustly? Those that their life, their livelihood were destroyed? Those that are still today living in agony because of that thing. There are some that today they became poorer, or they are now poor. There are some that were made orphans because of that June 12th. What happened to those people? And somebody just wrote a book, and 17 billion was raised for such a thing, such atrocities. My God. So you see, there are some certain things sometimes I don't know why our people, we don't, okay, they are calling that, let us look at it from the other angle. Let us accept that is Igbo Coup. So Igbo people, we are trying to rescue somebody bring that person from the prison and make that person the head of the nation, the number one citizen of the nation. So didn't Igbo people did well? Even if it just bring it to the other angle, Mr. Nosika can understand what I'm trying to say. So Igbo people, Awolowo is from where? I think he's a northern man, right?
No, he's from the southwest. He's Yoruba.
Okay.
He was Yoruba.
Okay, he was Yoruba. So now we did Igbos. We are fighting to bring Awolowo to become a president, to become prime minister or whatever. Today, we are being hated for that, for doing good. No, let us put it the other way around. Okay, let's say that Igbo people did the coup, but to make a Yoruba person the prime minister or the president. Today, we are being hated. Today, my name is Chukwode. Iyachukwu should not come out and vote.
Thank you, Mr. Tony.
So let us,
we need to hear from other people. You know that.
I'm not happy. I'm not happy listening to this. This is what the worst thing for this year, to this, the beginning of this year. This nonsense.
So do you wish that IBB did not come out with all of these revelations and he just took it to the grave?
Oh, do you want us to talk about everything that he has to tell Nigeria? Let him go and tell us about the plane crash, the 2 plane or 3 plane crash that happened during his time.
Thank you, Mr. Tony. Thank you so dearly. I do appreciate your call. 0803-692-9933, 0803-692-9933. That's the number you can call to be a part of this conversation. Okay, this is Voice of the People 90.3 FM, and you're tuned into the recap where we discuss and analyze issues that made major headlines during the week. 0817-175-6338 on WhatsApp. Send a message or call me up. Hello, welcome to Recap. Good evening.
Good evening, Choma Innocent.
Hi, Nadi. How you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm great. How you doing today? Happy weekend, though, Nadi. Let's hear from you.
Mr. Nosike.
We greet you too.
I wish my sister. I wish. Okay. With what Mr. Nosike, what I did not agree with me, Mr. Nosike. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you,
I don't
Nadi.
agree with you. And I don't with Nosike by saying that Natasha and this were elected. And Ababio. Now, Natasha was elected while Babangida was elected.
By who now?
Can you hear that? Because he contested for presidency. Later, he said to Turumbu, he give this thing to Turumbu. He did not say this thing. If it is things work, we have the constitution, or we have a country that work, and this guy will not be there. Ababio, Laval will not be there. This brave man that contested and win or won, he will not have been there. Before they made him Minister of Works. So, Mr. Nosike, I'm sorry for that, but Anasha was elected. While I was elected. That's one. You see,
he was elected by his people, and then selected by the people, by the lawmakers, right? Right there in the Senate to be their president.
That's the thing. That's the
okay,
this I'll tell you.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
On this, I just listened to Mr. Nosike when he was saying this thing. Imagine that the Minister of Works, that is what I said last week. That those days, this is people who they banished from the place, send him to a side. Then they will go there and build his family, build his this thing.
Nadi, can you hear me? Hello, Nadi, can you hear me? Hello, Nadi, are you there? Oh dear, you might have to give me a call back. I think you're experiencing a network interruption, okay? So give me a call back. That was a WhatsApp call. It happens sometimes due to the distance. 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call to be a part of this conversation. Or you call me up on 0803 692 9933. Hello? Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, can you hear me? I'm calling back.
Oh, Nadi, yes, welcome back.
Yes,
please go ahead.
Yeah, okay.
Hello, Nadi, are you there? Nadi, can you hear me? Hello? Gonna have to give me a call back. Send me a message 0817-175-6338. 0817-175-6338 on WhatsApp. You can either call me or send a WhatsApp message and I'll take it before the end of the program. Okay, call me up. Let's have this conversation. Hello there. Welcome to the recap. Good evening. What's your name and location, please?
Yes, I am Francis. I'm calling from Prestat in Lagos.
Welcome, Francis.
Yes, I'm first caller.
Welcome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, good evening. So I want to continue. I want to ask, when they are talking about this 1966 civil war, Nigerian civil war, yes, actually, the Igbos were leading. But what they are trying to find now, when they are talking about this Biafra education, well, the Igbos should know that they are same Igbo people were their problem in that Nigerian civil war. They should know that they are the problem of themselves because their leaders were the people obstructing them. People like Nnamdi Azikiwe was number one who obstructed Ojukwu. And again, one other Akwa Ibom man was there, being number two to Ojukwu, Colonel Silvestre, left now. Nobody ever remember that man in the history of Nigeria when they are talking about Biafra or whatever. Nobody remember the family of Silvestre there at Akwa Ibom in the Igbo. Is it good?
Yes.
So,
go ahead.
What I want to say. Okay. So now, when every time they talk about the Igbos are being kept aside, the Igbos are not carried along. Look at what I'm hearing now. All the positions in that Nigerian were gathered by Igbos.
Hello, can you hear me, Francis?
They were leading the Nigerians. So they should know that. Let them go back to the drawing board and know what is their problem. They should go back and check themselves and know what is their problem. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your call, Francis. 0700 903 903 903 or 0803 692 9933. Call me up. I want to hear from you. 0803 692 9933 or 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call to be part of this conversation. You can also send a message on WhatsApp or call me on WhatsApp 0817 175 6338. Hello, welcome to the recap. Good evening.
Good evening,
Mr. Remy. How you doing?
Thanks. I'm good. How are you?
Well, I'm doing great. Great to hear from you. Thank you for calling.
Fantastic. You see, kudos to Professor Anasike. You see, when I hear people use the word, this revelation, what is revelatory about this, about Babangida's thing? There's nothing revelatory about what he said. We've all known who won 1993 election. We know there was nothing such as Igbo coup, that expression was coined to demonize Igbo people because of those who have what Obasanjo called Igbophobic. So why is, I don't know, it's not revelation. Anyway, if Babangida really truly wants to show that he has repented, let him, every money he made on that book, let him donate it to charity. Donate it to fund education. Just donate it to social projects. Don't spend a dime of it, because that we amounts to profiting from the suffering of a nation. Lastly, Natasha Akpochi experience is disgusting, and it's a victimization to scare the female folks from coming near politics. They've done everything to her. We cannot conclude that the Nigerian Senate is a sexist Senate.
No, you cannot say that, Remy. If you want to talk about the president of the Senate individually, is different. You cannot categorize the whole Senate that way.
Okay, I'm sorry. Whatever the Senate president do, he do it on behalf of the whole Senate. And we have seen how he has harassed and assaulted Natasha on several occasions. And nobody in his chamber opposed him. No member of the Senate has come out to say the harassment of Natasha should be stopped, which means they endorse it. So we can confirm they are sexist. That's what they are. Let's put it that way. Have a good afternoon.
Remy, thank you for your call. Thank you so much for your call. 0700 903 903 903 or 0803 692 9933. That's the numbers. You can call either of these numbers to reach us in the studios live and direct. You can also send a message on WhatsApp or call me on WhatsApp 0817-175-6338. When you call, turn down the volume of your radio set. Keep it short, keep it simple, keep it civil, keep it polite, and keep it factual, please. Okay? 0700 903 903 903. Time flies when you're having important conversations. It's 21 minutes past 5 p.m. Hello? Welcome to the recap. Good evening.
Yeah. Good evening, Choma. How are you?
I'm great. What's your name? Welcome. Where are you calling me from, Joval?
You know my usual corner now. I live in Gondo as this. Let me say hi to Mr. Pitano TK. Good
He
evening,
can
sir.
hear you.
Good evening.
He
Good
will have
evening.
to answer me, Choma.
He
Good
has
evening,
answered you. He has
Jovial.
answered you. Please go ahead.
Yes, to answer me. I need to be sure he's fine. Mr. Pitano TK, well done, sir.
You've been hearing him
All
since
my
4 p.m.
life
and you
before
cannot
now,
deduce that he's
I
fine.
am not satisfied yet until he answers. He has answered me. I'm okay now, Choma.
Okay, oh.
Choma, before I went to school all my life, the lies that were told about this Biafran war has been what has been in my mind all this while. Until I read a lot of books. Little did I even know that Mr. Ansike has a book on this. So kudos to him. It's a very good book.
Yes, the book is titled 100 Years of Amalgamation, Igbos, What Hope in Nigeria. You can get it for a token.
We need to start talking about this book so that a lot of people will read it as well. You see, one thing about these books is that they have different views about what happened. Then you make up your mind. What Babangida put in that book, I've yet to read it, but the review by Yemi Osibanjo shows that he stated nothing but the obvious. I waited for something new. But that's beyond what I am trying to say this afternoon, Choma. At that book launch, I saw nothing but those who have plunged Nigeria into this darkness where we are. They came together, sat together, and we are reviewing the book. Those were people who have put Nigeria into problems. You see, the thing is very simple, Choma. That thing they call Igbo, until I read, it was a lie. Nigerians need to go and read to understand that even Babangida, what he told was not even completely the truth about it. If that is what he told in that book, because I've not read it, it's beyond this thing that he's saying about Igbo people and the queue. There was no Igbo queue. Ojukwu was not in the queue. Nzeogwu was doing his own thing in Kaduna before he was contacted by this what do you call him, Ademoleg or something. You see, Major Ademoye or something. You see all these things that people are talking about, Igbo. It is wrong. People need to read to understand where we are headed. Now, quickly, let me switch to Mr. Akpabio. Gospel Akpabio. Choma, there is no way you beat a child and you expect the child not to cry. You can never light a fire and expect the fire not to produce smoke, because you will not be able to determine if the fire will produce smoke or not. You see there are just 4 women in that house today. But my problem is beyond what he did to Natasha. But to the women the 3 of the women that were still in that house, they kept quiet. Women should begin to stand for their rights. It was in this country that some women protested in this country and went to the house, what you call the Senate chamber, Hello Chamber, then in Lagos, and protested that a particular bill against women will never see the light of day. And that happened. But what do we have today? Women don't support themselves. If a woman wants to contest for anything in Nigeria today, women will leave that particular woman and go and be voting for men.
And that's not always the
It's
case,
wrong.
Joval, but thank you for your call, okay? I do appreciate it. 0700 903 903 903. Joval, I really apologize. You were taking up so much time and we need to hear from others. We're trying to take as many calls as possible today, so please do pardon me, okay? 0700 903 903 903 or 0803 692 9933. From now on, every caller has just 2 minutes. You go a second over 2. I'm sorry, I will have to let you go. 0700 903 903 903. Hi there, welcome to the recap. What's your name and location, please?
Good evening. I'm Edward, calling from Songo.
Welcome, Edward. How is Songo today?
Thank God, it's fine.
Great. You have 90 seconds. Let's go.
Okay, yeah. The greeting to Mr. Anosike.
He greets you too.
People are doing a great job. You see, what is my position now is that now that IBB have started coming out to confess about Nigeria, these problems, because in this Coup, he never tell us how Agurency or the plot that made for Agurency to be killed, because there's no tribe that they see they kill their people. His representative, Agurency is the head of state, and the tribe will be very quiet. He's supposed to make some revelation, many things that took place during that period. Even OBJ have other things to talk about. Because this IBB, they have a lot to tell Nigerians. So, Nigerians polling have started from his own side. Because look at what part he played in the army. He never revealed very well his real plot he took, and many people he killed in the army. And look at June 12 and not in June 12. It's an error. Look at 419. Look at 419 in Nigeria. It is IBB. Look at cocaine Karen. It's still IBB, which is why Maria. You see, there's a lot of lies that it showed that man. The only thing is that let that money he make, let it be given to orphanage or less privileged Nigerians. He should not carry that money go. That's the weight of the nation. Because all this thing every day Nigeria will be talking and be looking Igbos as if Igbos are no people. It's a crime. Okay, look at creating of a state that we are marginalized. Even 6 states. I mean, 5 states given to Southeast. Is it normal?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Because you see, why this thing is irritating me is that the children that we born now, they are not happy with the society.
Thank you so much for your call, honestly. I'm going to have to let you go, okay?
Let me rest it there, Shati.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. We need to hear from others. 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 903. Oh, call either of these numbers. You reach us directly in the studios. Hi there. Welcome to the recap. Good evening.
Hello.
Hi. What's your name and location, please?
Okay, is my name.
Where are you calling me from?
Good afternoon. Okay, from Abulado.
Welcome. Quickly, let's hear from you.
Good afternoon. Yes, well done. Thank you for your good job. I greet everybody. The problem we are having, big problem we are having, number one, the other tribes are doing Igbo as if they are nothing, and which is very, very bad. Okay.
Is that what you think? Do the people around you, do they treat you anyhow because of where you come from?
Listen, I know what I'm saying. My voter card today, I have not collected it.
What?
Go today, come tomorrow.
And you think that's because of the name that you are bearing?
I'm coming now. I'm coming, my sister. So,
all right, please come quickly. You have 1 more minute.
Okay. But one thing I discover in our life, Igbo life, is that we don't treat ourselves first. We don't treat ourselves well. We tell truth with ourselves. We don't cooperate and love ourselves. And then because of that, the other tribe gain chance to maltreat us this way. We should go back and then we settle our case, love ourselves, and settle our matter so that we will not be pushing even we push it to other tribes.
All right. So thank you so much.
Please.
Thank you so much for your call. We need to hear from others, okay? 0700 903 903 903. When you call, please do not make false assertions. Please do not make false assertions. Thank you. 0803 692 9933 0803 692 9933. Hello. What's your name and location, please?
Hello.
I can hear you. What's your name and location, please?
Yeah, good evening. This is Deep Prince calling.
Welcome to the program. Hello, are you there? Hello, Big Prince. Can you hear me? All right, give me a call back. I definitely want to hear from you. Hello, welcome to the recap. Good evening.
Hello, Yama.
Hi, what's your name and location, please?
Just calling from Maja.
Welcome to the program.
Yeah, it's nice listening to Mr. Anosike, the man I reverence so much. But this afternoon, maybe, I don't know, sometimes some of the things that he said, I may not actually go in tandem. They may be true, but they may be fact, but I don't know how far they are true. Because when somebody is from ethnic side, and you now stage coup is treasonable. It should be discouraged. So we should not encourage it. I mean, because you want to help somebody, he now went into a treasonable offense. No. That is one. Then the other one is, please, let us de-emphasize. A lot of people, we are at a crossroad now. I want to tell you, as far as next election is coming, people, they don't want to go on ethnic line. But and this is a platform where a lot of a way to de-emphasize ethnicity, which I so much respect people like Anosike, people like the other man, Mr. something, apart from Barrister Darlington, the other man. So they've been doing a lot concerning that. So let's de-emphasize ethnicity. If it is Igbo man that will bring the Nigeria out of this room, let us all support him. But where this one, Igbo man, this one, that one, Igbo is nuisance to hearing.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
A lot of people are hearing you from other regions. Please. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your call. I do appreciate it. 0700 903 903 903 or 0803 692 9933. If you call either of these numbers, you reach us live and direct in the studios. If you'd rather send a message on WhatsApp, it's to 0817 175 6338. You can either call me or send a message. Hello, welcome to the recap. Good evening.
Hello, my name is
Hello? Hello? Okay, give me a call back, 0803 692 9933. 0803 692 9933. Hello, welcome to the recap. Good evening. Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Hi, what's your name and location, please?
My name is Pastor Joseph Otibo.
Welcome.
I'm calling from Orile Igomu.
Welcome to the program, and thank you for calling.
I have to say very good thank you to Pastor, the man at the studio, Mr. Anosike. All I need to tell Nigerians is that the money that Babangida made for that launching of that book, let it take to the account of Igbos. Or wait, let it take to the account of Igbos.
How many people do you want to share and give?
Yes. And government should be judged. And Obasanjo himself should be judged. All what they have done for Nigerians. Because Obasanjo knows he was sleeping with Major Nzeogwu that very day when the coup happened, according to what we are hearing. So God will judge them if they did not come out to apologize to this nation, Nigeria. Mostly the Igbos.
Thank you so much for your call.
So they have to come out and...
Thank you so much. I really do appreciate your call. 0803 692 9933. Person, don't accuse me. You're not reading our messages. You're not picking our calls. No vex. No be so. I'm actually taking your calls. But yes, there are so many calls. I can't decide which ones to take or not take. If your call comes in, well, lucky you. But rest assured, I'll take every single message. I'll read every single message I have on WhatsApp, every single comment I get on YouTube. I promise I'll take every single message that has been sent on this particular program before we go. Okay, 0803 692 9933. Hello, welcome to the recap. Are you there? You're not there. 0803 692 9933. 0803 692 9933. That's the number you can call to be a part of this program. Hello there, welcome to the recap. What's your name and location, please? You're not there. 0803 692 9933 or 0700 903 903 903. Yes, we're streaming live on YouTube. Head on over to the app and type into your search bar VOP 903 FM and you can get to be a part of the conversation. VOP 903 FM on YouTube. Join us. I'd like to hear from you. Hello there. Welcome to the recap. What's your name and location, please? Hello? Hello, are you there?
Hello.
Please turn down the volume on the radio. Turn down the volume on the device you're watching us from, please.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, so much better. What's your name and location, please?
Are you Chioma Innocent?
Yes, I am Chioma Innocent. What's your name and location, sir?
Okay, my name is Imaze Vox Populi Vox Dei. I am calling from Australia.
Mazi, is that your government name?
Yes. Vox Populi Vox Dei.
All right, let's hear from you quickly, Mazi. Thank you for calling.
Okay, you're welcome. I thank you for. I always watch your program, and I thank you so much. You are trying so much. I thank you, and I thank Anosike Mazanosike for his explanation or exposition. So may God continue to protect you people, and continue to guide this VOP that gave us the opportunity to speak our mind. Not like before, when you speak, they say it is a hate speech. Yes, but may God bless you people, bless the honor of a VOP. What I'm trying to say, Onosike has said everything, but all I'm trying to say is that every one of them, those who put that country into this quagmire, God have, touch them to continue, expose themselves one after another. Because before, everywhere, the whole Nigerians, apart from the Biafrans or Igbos, they always say it is Igbo kill. It is Igbo kill. And God has vindicated the Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu said it with that number. But it wasn't Igbo kill. Before everybody. So what I'm trying to say, the marginalization, we, the Igbos, supposed to know that we are not needed in that very country. We are not a Nigeria.
Is that how you feel, Mazi?
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much.
Just check everything from A to Z. We are not among them. They do budget now. They do put Southeast for budget. Everything they do, no Southeast. Let every one of them, even if people who is jumping here, who is desperate to rule Nigeria. Otman Danfedio told his children that you should not allow Igbo man to rule you, and don't allow Igbo man to take.
Thank you so much, Mazi.
So let every Igbo people now have a man that we can. No Igbo man can rule Nigeria.
Thank you for your call, Mazi. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I appreciate your call. 0803-692-9933. We'll only take one more call, and that will be all for today. Hello there. Welcome to the recap. What's your name and location, please?
Yeah. Good evening.
Good evening. What's your name and location?
Yes, it's Ola. So for me, it's not the issue of whether it's Igbo coup or not Igbo coup. The issue is what happened during the 1966 coup. So after the coup, Aguiyi took over. And when he took over, they released Awolowo. They did not release him till Gowon took over from Aguiyi. So that narration that they want to hand over to Awolowo, you can't believe it. Because for 6 months, they could not hand over to Awolowo. So it was Gowon that later released Awolowo for him to become Secretary of Finance.
So you don't believe what he's saying about the coup was to install Awolowo?
I don't believe that.
You don't believe that, okay.
I don't believe that.
Thank you so much.
The issue of 7 million people died during the Biafra war. What was the population of the Igbo at that time? That the 7 million would die. Then I want Gowon to write his own book so that we can know how many people that died from Nigeria side.
All right. So you will need to read Babangida's book first before Gowon writes his. We don't know if he has anything in the works, but thank you so much.
To the grave with
without writing any book.
He should
I hope he listens to you. I hope he listens to you. Nigerians want to learn and know what really happened and what's the thought process behind everything that these guys did when they were at the helms of power. But that's all we can take this evening. Oh my God, I need to take this one more call. Hello.
Yes, Choma, good evening. And I just wanted to...
Is this Prince Akwachi? Yes. Thank you so much for calling. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so first, Mr. Noksike, good evening. And I thank you very much for being there. However, I just want to make two statements? And my statements are this. In as much as the Igbos were falsely accused of orchestrating the 1966 coup, okay? Now the truth has been revealed and everybody knows it. Some of us knew this before now because I was told by my father and I knew everything that, how it went, that time. Now, Mr. Nosike, the same way the Igbos are falsely accused is the same narrative that the Trumpers are making you spread about your own color, your own person, in the person of Obama. And you are spreading this false narrative. I'm sorry to say, I just have to leave it this way. It's the same false narrative, and we are all going to be alive until everything will come to
Prince Akwachi, I want to ask, do you like Obama because of his Oh, Prince Akwachi, the call is gone. All right, then. If you're still listening, thank you so much for your call, Prince Akwachi. And thank you also. You know why I'm thanking you. Thank you so much. We do appreciate you right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Mr. Peter Anoske, you want to respond to that?
Yeah, no, I want to respond to what Onda said.
Okay. Keep it civil, please.
Aguyi Ironsi was not part of the Nzeogwu coup. Aguyi Ironsi was not part of the coup. He became head of state because the government was sacked. The government was sacked, so that was why Aguyi Ironsi became the head of state, because at that point in time he was the chief of army staff. So he was not part of the coup. So saying that Aguyi Ironsi did not release Gowon, Awolowo from prison, Aguyi Ironsi was not part of the coup. So that should be on record. It was the majors in the army then that conducted this coup. Gowon was not part of it. Emeka Ojukwu was not part of it. The Ogundibe was not part of it. Aguyi Ironsi was not part of it. So, if they had succeeded, they would have killed Aguyi Ironsi. They would have killed Gowon. They would have killed Ojukwu. They would have killed Ogundibe. Because when the majors conduct coup, anybody above them goes. So, I'm trying to put the record straight. Thank you.
All right, then it's time for me to start taking your comments on YouTube and your messages on WhatsApp. Unfortunately, I cannot take any more calls at this moment. It's about 16 minutes before 6 p.m. I'll have to actually rush through the messages. And there are quite a number of people who have accused me, say, Choma, that is what you do. Forgive me, but I can't take any more calls at the moment, okay? So let's go to YouTube and take some of your comments, and then we'll come to WhatsApp and take some of your messages as well before we go. Precious ID on YouTube says, how can they make such mistakes? How can you exclude a nation of over 50 million people in the budget? Shame. My pain is not that we're marginalized in Nigeria, but that the supposed representatives of the same people marginalized are complicit. Shame. Kenneth, okay, Chibuike Aningu says, Igbo has the same rights with others in Nigeria. If they don't want to, they should let them go separate ways. Okay. Emeka Nweke says Nnamdi Azikiwe was never president of Nigeria, but rather a ceremonial governor general. Python said, and BBC still called it Igbo coup. What a shame. Emeka Nweke says, quest for the, okay, Sylvester Egbueri, there's nothing we can do to revive Nigeria because the people are afraid of reforms. Tosin said, Chema, you weren't born during the coup. Now, wow, henceforth, you should be calling Esther Big Auntie. I don't know, say I know they call her Auntie of A. Abidin Adeyemo says, Mr. Anoske, please note that on this national media platform, factual evidence is required to support all claims. Emotional appeals alone are insufficient. Uniquely says, IBB is supposed to be arrested immediately. Tinubu should hand over power to Abiola family. Immediately. At the same time, Gowon should come out with his own confession immediately. Emeka Nweke now asked Tosin, were you born during the 1960s coup? How do you think that Choma would be born by that time? Ask me. Ask me. You see this my young face. You ask me, how was I not born during the coup? Emeka Nweke says, IBB, the evil genius, deserves to be in jail if Nigeria is a sane country. Sylvester Egbueri, they find trouble. Very soon, Mr. Akpabio will end up as Papa Jasco. Okay, let's go. Ojebeke says, can any truth come out from the evil genius? No, IBB is incapable of truth. Yes, all these revelations have already been told to me by my father, Mr. Felix Ugu. That's from Anthony Ugu. Okay, we're heading on over to WhatsApp. I'll be beginning from the very first message that I received on the program. General Babangida's confession acknowledging Moshood Kashima Wabiola as the rightful winner of the 93 general election suggests a belated recognition of accountability. However, this admission raises pressing questions. Why did he permit such injustice to occur during his tenure? Who was responsible for Abiola's tragic demise? What restitution will be offered to the families of those who lost their lives in the election? Will Babangida submit himself to questioning by security agencies? Most importantly, will he offer a long overdue apology to the Nigerian people? Abidin from Bagada is asking these questions. Good evening, Chioma and Mr. Anosike. I can't imagine how all the political office holders in the Southeast are comfortable with the exclusion of the region from capital project. Who do they expect to fight for us? Outsiders? These people are clowns. Anaklet and Noebunwa from Alagbado. Good evening, Chioma and Mr. Peter Anosike. Jude from Ajawa Estate. Southeast governors are responsible for the underdevelopment in the region. They are only there to satisfy their own selfish interests. Presidency has compensated some of the Southeast governors by installing them, so they have no right to demand for any capital projects. Good job, Chairman. More grace and strength to carry on. Thank you, Jude. I do appreciate you. Waiter, what good or use is the information and confession released by IBB at this time in our nation's economic crisis? They purposely remove history from the school's curriculum. In a sane society, those that committed 1993 genocide should be tried and jailed. Even if they are dead, their bodies and skeletons need to be exhumed so as to face justice. If you enter court and you see a skeleton standing trial, would you wait? Comrade Abraham, you said that 2027 election is coming. We'll be watching and waiting. The planet is listening. Good evening, VOP. You can see that the problem of Southeast are the southern elites and not Nigeria. No lawmakers, no minister, no governor raise alarm over non-inclusion of capital projects. So Igbos are a problem to themselves and not the Nigerian government. Emmanuel Kasarachi says, Anosike, you're indeed a great man with great experience and understanding, always speaking the truth. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Kasarachi. I don't know why some of my Igbo brothers have such low mentality. Look at Situ calling Buhari a terrorist, but Kanu was called a terrorist. He fled. IPOB remains a terrorist organization from Mazi Okechukwu. Good evening, Chioma and Anosike. You people have made my day today through your analysis about the position of Igbos in the country. The marginalization must stop for the country to move on. No other tribe love Nigeria like them. That's why they feel free to interact with other tribes and invest to develop the country. Ajibola from Ijegun. Chioma, greetings to you and Mr. Anosike. Please, what can we do to stop our governors from being senators and making it their retirement home? Anosike, can you help me on that question? Nigeria can move forward in any way. My heart bleeds for the country. Daniel from Oshodi. Good evening, Chioma and Anosike. It would have been better if IBB took his confession to the grave so that it would torment his soul for eternity. John from Ijaniki says, on the issue of 1960s coup, I've read a book written by Ademoyega titled Why We Struck. Another book written by Alexander Madiebo. Chioma, with the way the coup went, nobody will believe it is not an Igbo coup. Apart from Colonel Unegbe, all the victims were not Igbo. Can they tell us why they spare Igbo politicians? Can they tell why they killed other military officers and spare Aguiyi Ironsi? Yes, the coup was to make Awolowo prime minister. Chama, if you still read that book, Why We Struck by Ademoyega, you will see where Kaduna Nzeogwu even accused the main Eastern Igbos for hijacking the original plan of the coup. That was the beginning of the problem in Nigerian politics. Okay, good evening, Chioma. Former General IBB has not told us the truth about the annulment of the 1993 general elections. He said at the time, so people in the country didn't want Abiola to be president, hence he was forced to annul the election. He failed to mention that these people in the book only to tell us it took responsibility for the annulment. If it was a Sena country, Babangida will be arrested and face persecution for plunging the country into crisis. Message from OJ Yusuf from Adamo in Ikorodu. Thank you for calling, Yusuf. Austin Alaba, mine is only a question. Chama, is there PDP senator in that chamber at all? No walkout, no protest, no comment from PDP senators. God help us. IBB should also tell Nigerians about the money he looted and also Abacha's loot. Let him also write about all the money they looted. Chidi Ewelike from Shasha. The recap. Chama and Anosike should stop misleading the people. The manner Chama allows our callers to use programs to propagate lies. Sledgehammer also be on the stitching time save now. Abuchi in solo. Abuchi, are you wishing us good or evil? Good evening, Chairman Nanosuke. The high-ranking political officers of Southeast extraction in APC can never represent the interest of the Igbos. They are there to serve the APC and not their people. They will be removed if they do otherwise. If you're expecting Dave Umahi and Ben Kalu to scrutinize the budget and protest the non-inclusion of any project in the Southeast in the budget, you are daydreaming. TC from Ojo. Okay. Presenter, I love your message, your question to him about when he said British rigged the election for the Northern Prime Minister, but they did not rig it for Nnamdi Azikiwe. That was such a wise question. It shows you that he feels Igbos are better than every other tribe. They can do no wrong. Lol. From James. James, I think you kind of misunderstand. Chama, innocent, always try to moderate professionally. You allow respondents to use the Phil is in Okota. Phil, thank you. Thank you for your message. I appreciate it. You sent it with 2 different lines. I've seen it. Thank you. I appreciate it. No vex. Jama, good evening. I saw a group of vultures, hyenas, and a group of vagabonds in power. The thieves who are milking the Nigerians converge in Babangida's book launch yesterday. Just imagine how they were clapping for corrupt dictator like Babangida, raising money to appreciate him for his evil act. Oh, what's your name and your location? You didn't write that. Okay, good evening, Chama. It's chaotic in National Assembly if such that happened between Senator Saraki and Senator Akpabio and Senator Natasha. Creation of new state is trivial because the existing 36 state is unviable. All the state depends on federal allocation. Does it mean that it is IPOP that representing Igbos at National Assembly? It is unfortunate the Southeast senators and House of Reps members sees the capital project of their people as redundant. God bless Anosike for his instructive clarification. Correct. From Bariga. Chama, where's our chef on money? Who be this? Who be this? Waiting happen. Close your eyes, oh. Waiting happen. Close your eyes. You did shook eye for my something. Why? Sir Comrade from Ajao Estate says, good evening, Chama. I greet you, Anosuke. When you finish the program, tell us the name of the book so that people can go and read the history of Nigeria. The book is called 100 Years of Amalgamation, Igbos, What Hope in Nigeria. Okay? 100 Years of Amalgamation, Igbos, What Hope in Nigeria. That's the name of the book. So in case you want to get it, you can reach out, send a message right here on WhatsApp, and you get the information on how you can get the book. Chama, so Babangida wants to build presidential library for who to make use of, please. I've been to Obasanjo's presidential library. Most of what I saw there was a hotel. If IBB wants to build his own hotel and call it presidential library, I will not be surprised. What a shame. Okangbelina from Mafoluku. My spot for Obama is not about color nor race. I witness his leadership and all the negative things perpetrated by Trump, the fraudster. Prince Akwachi. Do you know Judas Iscariot returned the money he collected to betray Jesus before he hanged himself? Let all betrayers of innocent people of Nigeria return what they have stolen and ask for forgiveness of their sins. Good evening, Chama. And Anosike, remember that Egyptians had no peace until the Jews were allowed to go. So Nigeria will know no peace. No peace, I beg you. Sydney from Ejigbo. Zeke was a ceremonial president without much state powers. Paul from Egbeda. AB Pepperdam from Sulere, what do you call a situation where a plan to topple a government was made and only the north and west was touched? The plan to kill all the leaders, guess those that were killed. Only Akintola, Balewa, Okotiebo, and Bello Okpara or Asikiwe was not killed. That's the reason they called it the Igbo coup. Final message I'll be taking this evening. Good evening, Mr. Anosuke, my journalist of the year, and Chioma, read my message in full. The evil that men do, live after them. IBB confession now is medicine after death. That 2 years later, he has bred Nigeria to this nightmare government. In the same country, he'll be arrested and jailed for annulling a free and fair election. But here, where anything goes, nothing will happen. Years later, Yakubu will beg Nigeria for the election that brought. You also see people come to grace the occasion and contribute. Sycophants will be clapping for their tax masters, like they say, birds of the same feather flock together. It's a shame the worst of us is ruling the best of us. Truly, there was a country. Dyer from Lagos. Mr. Peter Anosuke, we need to go. Let's get your concluding thoughts.
Well, for me, minds are already made. So Babangida's book is not going to add or minus anything. It is not going to add or minus anything because it is coming too late. The narrative has stuck. People has gone to their grave with that mindset.
Whether it's going to happen or not, do you believe that he should be arrested for this? There's certain people who believe that actually while he was making that revelation, the next thing was to get the police to arrest him and
in Nigeria,
try him.
In Nigeria, somebody who they were donating money for, celebrating as a hero. When I was watching that video, I was telling myself, these are the problem of Nigeria assembled here. Understand me? The people that I saw there was the problem, the trouble with Nigeria. So nobody's going to arrest him. Rather, they will praise him even more.
Okay. My apologies if I didn't take your message. Certain people are letting me know that I didn't read their messages. Taiwo from Ejigbo, hello Chema. Advise some of your callers to stop generalizing that people hate the Igbos. The Igbo politicians should try to collaborate with other regions on how to produce a Nigerian president from the east. No region